finally, that took forever to start. What is going on, LBHT crew? You guys don't see what happens back here. I know you guys are sitting there saying you're late. Man, we hit start at 7:15. It's just it took forever for this thing to finally connect with YouTube, I guess. But Ferris is here. What's going on, Ferris?
I'ma need a day off. I think I called Ferris up.
I'm doing great, guys. I'm doing great. So that awesome. It did do that thing 3 times, right? I wasn't tripping.
So we'll talk about it off air because I want to be professional, unlike Club Shay Shay. But there's some things that happen on our end that the audience doesn't see.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll be more professional than he was on Nightcap, and we'll discuss that off air. Hey, y'all, it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well. But if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. All right. So wherever you're watching us, make sure you hit that like button, follow, so all that good stuff. If you're listening to the audio podcast, make sure you leave that 5-star review. And I want to take a second here. I want to give a shout out to our girl, Yolanda. Yolanda, keep your head up. Okay, Ravens Talk with Yolanda. YouTube, you guys think YouTube's our friend. YouTube is not our friend. Okay, YouTube actively works against us. Okay, they randomly hate on creators, and she had a little mishap. She's working out right now. Her channel is not there. If you're subscribed, she's one of the hottest Ravens YouTubers out there. Yeah, they pulled her channel down for just some random reason. It happened to Engraven last year. It actually. Well, they didn't pull his channel down. It got demonetized. They actually demonetized us at one point too, and it's just for random reasons. It's nothing that we actually did. They took it to another level with Yolanda. So I'm confident to get that all worked out. But I want to take this minute to reiterate. This is why it's important to follow us on other platforms, right? And try to diverse. What are you gonna say?
My man said, "Who's the new guy?"
Who's the
what? Because apparently you, right? Ferris been on. Ferris was one of the first guests we ever had on the show.
Okay, well, all right.
It's okay because it's all right. It's all right.
Ferris, in a second, I'm gonna plug your stuff. Okay, I'm gonna let you plug your stuff, right? But I just want to reiterate, right? Like people are coming in here. It's important to follow us on our different platforms. Okay, yes. You follow us on anywhere social media related at LBHT Show. But the big one is we have a website. Okay, LBHTShow.com. We have a newsletter that we're preparing to put out. I know I've been teasing it for a while. It is coming. The newsletter,
the most fire newsletter you have ever seen.
It has
been in works for 2 years.
Yes. Sign up for the newsletter. I know you guys get a lot of newsletters, whatever. Look. This is the newsletter that you want to keep on, okay? Check, that we'll have all the information for our shows, for everybody in our circle, everybody in our crew, which is a lot of people, including Ferris, right? Where to find their stuff. If anything changes, last minute, where you can find their content, because when YouTube does things like this, we don't stop the show. Okay, the show will still go on. If you tune in one day, you can't find our channel. The show is going on somewhere. I promise you that. All right. So go over to LBHTShow.com. Wait for that little box to pop up. Put your email address in there. All right, and sign up for the newsletter. Okay, do that right now. It takes not even 10 seconds. All right, LBHTShow.com. Ferris. Okay, new guy. Let the people know who you are and where you can be found.
Hi, guys. My name is Ferris Brodny. You can find me on the Let's Get Ready networks. I have 2 networks. I have Let's Get Ready Entertainment, where we talk movies, TVs, reviews, reactions. If you're much inclined, go support that channel. We're at 963, so we're 37 away from 1,000. And then our sports channel, LGR in the Highlights, where I do a weekly show every Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific, live to pre-taped, where we talk NFC East, New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys. This week, one of us is having a horrible week. The other one is having a great week. I won't reveal who it was, but you'll find out who it is. Very quickly, it's me. I'm having a horrible week. Also too, we have other shows. You know, if you like soccer, we have a soccer show as well. It's called Starting 11 every Tuesday, 5 o'clock Pacific. You know, so there's that as well. So yeah. And then we also have fantasy. We have a fantasy football show where we do every fall for our fantasy league. You know, we have a Patreon fantasy league. So you want to join that? Join the Patreon. You know, we're tinkering on the Patreon. So you could join now or whenever you like. LGRN underscore patreon.com/LGR underscore network. We also have a betting show every Wednesday, 8 o'clock Pacific. You want to make some money? Come one, come all, come get your bets in all from Caleb and Derek in the chat. They give you the best picks of the week. So there's that as well.
And
Every
every Sunday, Ferris will be doing play-by-play for the Giants.
yes. No, not every Sunday, Brodny. See, here's the thing.
My bad.
Every New York Giants game, I will be doing play-by-play. We have a Thursday night game in a couple weeks, so I'll be doing that Thursday night.
My apologies.
No, all right. Game. So yes, every Giants game I'll be doing play-by-play. I did my first one last week. Going through some growing pains. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm growing. I'm trying to use this as one of my former coaches, he famously said, practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. So you got to keep doing it. You got to keep doing it. You got to keep moving around and keep going around. So the play-by-play stream is going to be a little different because I'm watching the game and I'm going off of when the game goes to commercial. So, so it's going to be a little different as well. So there's that, man. So there's that.
That's what's up. All right. Let me give some shout outs to the chat. We got Suge Knight 323 says, first, just like the Steelers. It's just like the Steelers to take an early victory lap. Okay, like you're first out the block and you're raising your hands before you cross the finish line. Okay, good job. But shout out to our guy Suge. Also, I gotta mention, Ferris. He's plugged all his stuff. That his links are in the description, as well as Suge, as well as Coach Evans, the whole crew. Just go in the section where it says, subscribe to the crew. They're all right there. Ferris is a little bit higher in the description because he's a guest on the show. So, we plugged them in under the description of the show. But all those links, you just click on them, they take you to the channel, and you subscribe. Just subscribe to everybody. All right. Living Legends in the house. Hey, what's going on? Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. Yes,
did we meet Living Legend in person?
We did not, but the next meeting, he's got to be there. You got to come through. All right. Ravenville, what's going on? Says, what's up, LBHT crew? What's up with you? Big Cuz 410, salute to you. All right. Appreciate you coming through. Killer Cam says, hola, Jose. And, oh, yeah, B's waiting for it. Mucho gusto, Brodny.
Nice to meet you, Cam.
You've already met him.
I'm actually on. He keeps saying it every week. Mucho gusto means nice to meet you.
Yeah. Just Alice says, hello, LBHT fam. I hope everyone is well. Kurt Warner is the most pedantic Lamar
hater.
Oh, pedantic Lamar hater out there. Go away. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like Kurt. I'll tell you I'll tell you what else I don't like. It's real quick. I know we gotta get to the Black History Fact. We gotta get things moving because we got a lot to talk about. But I'm on LBHTShow.com/shop right now, just scrolling through. And by the way, there's some great merchandise on there. Go ahead and check it out yourself. But we have the Carolina shirt, right? And we have the picture with the guy wearing the shirt. And I never noticed until just now how much he looks like Bryce Young. Especially in his facial expression, because he looks very sad.
He was very sad. Remember, we used to make fun of it. I used to say, "Man, he's so sad."
He's so sad that he couldn't keep it, but now he's so sad that he has to wear it.
Talking about we met Living Legend. We met Living Legend in the Overtime Show.
He might have been on the Overtime Show once. I think so. But no, in person. We haven't met him in person.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking.
I got coaches in the house. Sip 2 Tally Films is the channel. Coach? You need to go over there, subscribe. He is very close to 10,000 subscribers. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe over there. That's where you can find the Ravens Roundup crew every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. He just did a show over there with our guy Chris Just Joking. All right, breaking down some film. You don't need to go. I swear you don't need to go anywhere else for Ravens film breakdown. There's nobody's going to do it better. All right, you're wasting your time if you go anywhere else. All right,
facts.
Coach and Chris, they're the best in the business. Our guy Big Reg is in that house. What's going on, Big Reg? Salute to you. DDSQ, what's going on, brother? Says, hope your day is going better than Shannon Sharp's. Oh, we're going to talk some Shannon Sharp on the Overtime Show. The Overtime Show.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The Overtime Show, that's where you can find on our Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. That's going to happen after this show. We're going to talk some Shay tonight.
Every week after this show. And like I said, he had an all-time reversal of fortune today. And just incredible. Almost like it was planned. Amazing.
I be saying what's going on. Salute to you, man. Thanks for coming through. I be saying, man, shout out to you. Like I be saying, be commenting on all of our videos, and he puts timestamps for everything in there. If I just wait for I be saying to watch the show, I wouldn't have to put the timestamps in there myself. He timestamps it all. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. D Banks in the house says Bueller. What's going on, D Banks? Thanks for coming through. D Weezy, salute to you. I want to make sure I get everybody. Who else is in here? Osmond's in the house.
Galloway. What's up, Osmond?
What's up, Osmond? Thanks for coming through. We got our guy Dre, MISTERR. Galloway is the channel.
What's going on, Dre?
Dope channel, dope artist. Okay, go subscribe over to him. He makes some dope music. I failed to mention Living Legend also makes beats, some fire beats. All right, go support our local artists. All right, very important to us. All right, Urban, what's going on? Urban Closer, thanks for coming through. Clot is in the building. Salute to you. Now look who else is in the building. Rave Kingdom, what's going on? Thanks for coming through, Rave Kingdom. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody. But like B said, we have a lot to go through. All right, we're trying our hardest not to make this a 2-hour show. Hendo, what's going on? Salute to you, brother. The Road Pie, make sure you subscribe to him as well. Part of the crew. His link is also in the description. Okay. But yes, Jay, shout out to you. I see you, Jay. Look, from here on out, throughout the season, we're gonna be talking a lot of Ravens and Panthers. Okay. And we're gonna be talking some Giants for our guy Ferris as well. All right.
We don't have to do that.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, you know, look, it don't have to be long. Okay.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I put the banner in. We got to talk about it.
All right.
So you know, we'll break that down. We're going to give you our weekly picks around the NFL. Okay. And we got a court of public opinion today. All right. Our guy Cheetah got into it with the police on his way to the game. And we're going to break that whole thing down in a court of public opinion. All right. So we're going to get that started. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B and Akole have a Black History fact for you.
Welcome to this week's Black History Fact. Eugene Bullard, born on October 9th, 1895, in Columbus, Georgia, was a remarkable historical figure, known for breaking barriers and showing immense courage. He earned the nickname Black Swallow of Death as the first African-American military pilot, although he flew for France instead of the United States. Bullard's early life was tough. At just 11 years old, he ran away from home to escape the harsh realities of racial violence in the South. His journey led him to Europe, where he eventually settled in France and began a career as a boxer. When World War I erupted, Bullard joined the French Foreign Legion and later moved to the French Air Service, earning his pilot's wings in 1917. He flew many combat missions and was honored for his bravery with several medals, including the Croix de Guerre. After the war, Bullard stayed in France, where he owned a nightclub in Paris and became a key figure in the vibrant jazz scene. During World War II, he joined the French resistance, continuing his fight against oppression. Despite his incredible achievements, Bullard faced racial discrimination when he returned to the United States. He spent his later years working as an elevator operator in New York City and passed away on October 12, 1961. His legacy as a pioneering aviator and a symbol of resilience and bravery lives on.
All right. Because 410 says, damn, what a name. Talking about his nickname, the Black Swallow of Death.
That's
you do not want to encounter the Black Swallow of Death.
Yeah, that's something. That's something right there.
So yeah, so if only you knew some of the slang and some of the terminology used back in those days, you would be like, "Excuse me, what?" Yeah. And just the completely different meaning. B showed me this this old comic book, right? When it was Captain America, and he wanted to give a stern talking to another character. I can't remember who it was, and they had a term for giving somebody a stern talking to. Not gonna say it, but it started with a D, and it was a major pause. Do you remember what I'm talking about, B? He said, "I'm going to give him a good bleep." And I was like, "Excuse me, what is this?"
Also, that's kind of like what Shannon was doing on IG Live. But we're gonna go ahead and move on because it's a family show and that's neither here nor there.
All right, what do you want to get to first?
Well, first, I would like for it to work when I click on the button. There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and bring up one of these banners here. We're going to start off with some Ravens talk, I guess.
Let's do it.
The Ravens are going to be back home in Baltimore against the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not sure if they're going to have like the whole undercard like they did against the Chargers with the 10 to 12 fights. I don't think that that usually doesn't happen in Baltimore. I think it's going to be just the Raiders versus the Ravens. And I think this is a game where Baltimore really needs to be careful. You look at the Raiders and you say, they should be able to handle them. That should be a win. A couple of years ago, they opened the season against the Raiders, and we all thought that, and they went out there and they got beat. Right? Mm-hmm. Last year, they went to play the Colts with the Raiders' current starting quarterback, Gardner Minshew, and like easy win. Wasn't easy, and it was a loss. They're a tough team. They have some talent, and they have talent that can exploit the Ravens' weaknesses, particularly Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins up front, going up against that O-line that looked pretty porous in week one. Yeah. So I think that, I think it's going to be tough for Baltimore. I do expect them to come out with the win, but again, it's not going to be easy.
I don't think anything's going to be easy for us in the beginning because of the O-line. I do expect us to win. I think the final score will be, double digit, but it's not going to be an easy game. Because Harbaugh always has a team to play down to the competition. That's another issue that I have with John Harbaugh. When if it's a top team, we get the best out of that, out of this team. If it's a team that's not expected to be particularly good, then we play down. So it is going to be an ugly game. But this is the type of game that plays into our hands, I think. They don't have a strong run game. Okay, Zamir White, not looking great so far. All right, I got him in one of my fantasy leagues. I think I got him in two of my fantasy leagues. Watched a little bit of him. He's not looking like a legit Josh Jacobs replacement. Okay, but they have a beast of a wide receiver, obviously, in Devontae Adams, but not so much the quarterback. And the strength for this defense is the secondary.
They got the best backup quarterback in the league, bro, and they've got Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers at the tight end spots. Yeah. It's not a great offense Ferris, what are your thoughts on Baltimore and the Raiders this week?
Yeah, no, it's a trap game. Because the Ravens are probably gonna be like, oh, we can bounce back. We lost the Chiefs, but we'll bounce back with the Raiders. But honestly, it is a high chance that the Ravens could start 0-2 because let's be real, like DBs, which DB could stop Devontae Adams? Really, like I don't really know much.
I think they can scheme him out the game.
They probably, because the thing is that's the only receiving threat they really have. Jacoby Myers, he's hit or miss, right?
Jacoby's a good solid receiver.
But he's hit or miss, Brodny. One game he has a great game. Next game he disappears, bro. He just like disappears. You don't really know. Because I remember watching him, like he had a horrible like 3 weeks, and then they were against the Giants. Then he blew up the Giants. I was like, of course you blew up the Giants because they suck. You know what I mean? That's why I remember the guy. But then like the following week, nothing, like absolutely nothing. You know what I mean?
I think
middle of the field's going to be key. I think the middle of the field is going to be key with their two tight ends. You know what I mean? It's gonna show you how can Roquan Smith and his running mate, whoever it is, I think it's Trent Simpson, can they lock down the middle of the field against those two tight ends? Because Gardner Minshew, he does have Devontae, but you may put a safety over top to take him out. So the tight ends are going to have a big key. It's going to be a tight end game, which is funny because the Ravens being a tight end heavy team as well.
Yeah. I think if they had a better quarterback out there, this would be much more serious game, right? Gardner, yes, he beat us last year. I just don't feel confident in him this year. Right? I don't believe him. Okay, I don't believe him even with Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams can very well finish the game with 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, and
you still win.
I'll just say it's those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it, my friend.
Also, too, we have to talk about
sleeping on Gardner.
I don't anything. I don't play.
It's the Colts. It's also he was playing with the Colts.
Yeah.
The Colts have a better offensive coach than the Raiders. I don't know who the Raiders' offensive coordinator is, but Shane Steichen. He was the
Steichen. Yeah.
Steichen. He was the offensive coordinator for Philly the year they made the Super Bowl. Then he became the head coach of the Colts. The QBs, Joe Flacco played good underneath him. Gardner Minshew played good underneath him. But the problem is, do you trust the coaching staff to put Gardner Minshew in the positions to beat the Ravens like the Colts did? And the Colts did that. The Colts did that a lot. You know what I mean? Well, last year, because they almost made the playoffs, even without Anthony Richardson, who only played 4 games.
Yep.
So yeah. So
I want to pull this comment up from Filthy. He says, "What's up with PFF rating the Ravens O-line as the 3rd best in pass blocking through week 1? It seems like they purposely overrate the O-line to make it seem like LJ has a stacked roster." That's not what it is with PFF. PFF is very bad at rating the O-line. That's been their Achilles heel, so to speak, since their inception, right? Like they're not good at rating O-linemen. Like the way they do the grading is pretty ridiculous, right? Basically, if they don't give up a sack, it's a positive play, even if they had nothing to do with with the play, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they gave up 1 sack, and the rest of the time, I don't think Lamar really got hit. But obviously, if you watch the game, they schemed to get the ball in Lamar's hands quickly. Lamar had a lot to do with not getting sacked, moving around or whatnot. And yes, PFF, the way they do the grading system doesn't account for those things. But anybody with eyeballs know that O-line was a problem. So when you look at PFF grades, you have to do it with the grain of salt. Anything really, right?
Yep.
Like you have eyes, you have your own eyes. Make your own adjustment. Make your own assessment. All right.
Mm-hmm. PFF doesn't know how to grade offensive line play. They don't really. So I don't understand. I honestly don't really. I use them as a tool. Use them as a tool. You don't use them as an end all be all. You match it up together. Yeah.
And D-Banks, just to remind you, this Gardner did nothing. They won off field goals. I'm not saying he blew up the Ravens, but he did have, I'm looking at it now, he was 27 for 44, 227, a touchdown, and no interceptions. Now, the Ravens were able to get to him. They got 5 sacks in that game, but they weren't able to do enough to stop the Colts.
Yeah. Rave Kingdom wants to know, LBHT, how many games will it take for them to be like, okay, time to start Ben Cleveland?
Drop me.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Pull Ferris down for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So how many games would it take to start for them to say, all right, start Ben Cleveland? Who knows, right? Like, I mean, my hope is that this O-line, this unit just gets better. That's my hope. Ben Cleveland's been on a team for what, 4 years? This is 4th year.
Yeah.
And he still hasn't cracked the starting lineup. Now I understand when you get in Harbaugh's doghouse, you know, it's hard to get out of there. But if he was really that good, right, like really that good, he would be out there because this O-line needs help. He might be a little bit better than Falele, but how much better? I don't know, man. Like he looked good in spurts, but can he do that consistently? I don't have any faith in him. You know, like I don't have faith in really not outside of Linderbaum, even Ronnie Stanley. I got more faith in Ronnie Stanley, but outside of those two, I just hope that they get better. Let's put it that way. So I gave this O-line to about week 5 or 6 to really gel, and I'm hoping by that point they really turn the corner, they figure things out, and they can do a much better job protecting Lamar and open up some holes for Derrick Henry. All right. Okay, so we both picked the Ravens to win this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Ferris would pick them to win as well. I'll read a couple more comments and then we'll go over to the Panthers. DDSQ says Tucker missed a field goal and likely had a bad drop against the Colts last year. Yeah. No, I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why we lost that game that we shouldn't have lost. But B's point is, it can happen again, right?
Yeah. The point isn't that Gardner Minshew is the kryptonite to Lamar Jackson in this Ravens defense. It's that you can't expect to just walk over them.
Yeah. Manny T Sports says because we got best QB in the league, he's going to make offensive line great anyway. Because Lamar Jackson, that dude, but offensive line is trash. Yeah, this is a thing that we've been trying to say for the whole offseason. Why we know when the Ravens are making moves and we say we don't like those moves when they're going out and getting Derrick Henry, we're like we don't necessarily like that move. It's not bad, but we need offensive line. When we say we don't like the Nate Wiggins pick, well, you know, it's not about Nate Wiggins as a player.
Mm-hmm.
It's about prioritizing a position that you don't need. Not right now. You didn't need that. You didn't need to fill that spot. Nate Wiggins had 14 snaps?
Somewhere around there.
Last week. He didn't play. Okay. We needed that first round pick to be an O-lineman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you try to sell us on Rosengarten, and Rosengarten got in the game and gave up a strip sack.
Or a wide receiver. Right.
Or wide receiver.
At the point where you get to the draft, I mean, you don't really want rookies starting on the O-line. It's a very, very difficult transition to make. You wanted veterans. You needed to go in free agency and fill the starting spots on that O-line. Even O-linemen who turn out to be really, really good, most of the time will struggle in their first year. So like that wasn't the place to do it. I mean, they needed to because they completely neglected the O-line up until that point. But ideally they would have gone into free agency and gotten that taken care of, and then use that first pick on a playmaker, on a wide receiver, and but that's not the way that EDC and Harbaugh and the Ravens like to do things. They like to keep the defense stacked, even though they know that defense doesn't win you championships. And a lot of times just doesn't win you games, period. I mean, all of the resources they put into the defense lost them that game against Kansas City. They did not play well at all. But
yeah, that's something that, again, people don't like to hear that, right? Because we love defense around here, and it seems like they can do no wrong, but it is the defense's fault that we lost the game, right? The focus is always going to be on Lamar, and this is why we say don't spend your money, don't spend your picks on defense, right? Like we have an abundance of talent on defense. Stop trying to replenish that talent because it's never going to be on them, right? The onus is never going to be on them to win the game. They gave up 27 points. I told B before the second half that Kansas City is going to come out and score on that first drive. They're going to do everything they can to score on that first drive. That drive was critical for them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that drive was critical, and they wanted to jump out to a bigger lead so they can keep control, of the game. If we at least held them to a field goal, different ball game. What they do? Give up a touchdown. Okay, that's where you have to impose your will as a dominant defense and say, "No, we're not giving you anything. You're gonna punt this thing away, or we're gonna force a turnover right here, and we're gonna change the tide of the game." If they done that in that first drive, completely different ball game. Right? If they go and get the turnover at the end, right? I mean, it's good that they got them off the field, but like turnover, that's what you need right there. Turnover. Yeah. Right? You got to make special plays against teams like that.
But like Ivy saying says, KC's first round draft pick scored 2 touchdowns. Ours did nothing. And it wasn't just Xavier Worthy. That vaunted Ravens defense got roasted by a rookie and a second-year wide receiver in Rashee Rice. Could not stop them.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. So that's why we don't agree with those type of picks, man. And it's always, oh well, they're young. Oh well, they're developing, or give them time. We do not have time. We are trying to win a Super Bowl now, this season. Okay, it's time for all those guys that you say give them time to step up. All right.
Yeah.
It's no more time. It's no more time for Rashad Bateman. He needs to be the guy right now. It's no more time for Ben Cleveland. Ben Cleveland can't get on the field. That's his fault. No more time for Valele. I know he's playing. They move him around. There's he has a little bit of cover, but
still believe in you, Daniel.
We'll see.
That's my guy.
All right.
But so with that said, let me ask you this: what do you expect out of Derrick Henry this coming week?
All right. I expect for him to get the ball more, right? They can't keep trying to hide him behind 13 carries and say, oh, well, hey, when we got him, we weren't planning on running them 30 times a game. I hated that response, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that response. Can you run them 20? Can you run them 24, 25 times? Right? Yes, because more than 12 carries. He has to have that. You have to get something established with him. If not, you wasted your offseason.
Just for reference, the Chargers, who the Raiders played last week, they picked up Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. What an incredible coincidence that this turned out to be, right? They picked up Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins to be their running back duo. They played the Raiders in week 1. J.K. Dobbins got fewer carries than Derrick Henry. He got 10 carries in that game. Did you see what J.K. Dobbins did?
I did.
He went for 135 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's not a 1-to-1. The Chargers have a much better offensive line than the Raiders or the Ravens do.
Yeah.
But aren't you going to feel a certain kind of way if you go out there and Derrick Henry can't produce something close to that against the Raiders this week?
Yeah, I am. The thing is this: J.K. Dobbins, if he didn't get hurt, I felt like he was going to be one of the top running backs in the league, right? Mm-hmm. He's gotten some major injuries, but he's still young. Derrick Henry is trending downwards, right? Like he had a good year last year. He might have a little bit more in the tank, right? He might be able to do that again this year, but it wouldn't surprise me if J.K. Dobbins stayed healthy that he's just a better running back at this point than Derrick Henry, right? And that's not something I'm going to necessarily crush the Ravens for, because, man, like we need availability, right? Like we need people that are out there playing, and he unfortunately he just kept on getting hurt. That wouldn't bother me, but I don't think J.K. Dobbins is going to be better than Saquon Barkley,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's not getting a playmaker for Lamar Jackson. And if you're treating Derrick Henry like he's just another guy, right, and not a playmaker, You wasted your offseason. He's supposed to be a playmaker for us. He's supposed to be that guy that we can hand the ball off to, and Lamar doesn't have to worry about running it 18 times a game, right? So he needs the ball. Everybody knows he needs more touches. He needs a lot of touches to get going, and especially in the second half when you read down the defense, that's when he really gets rolling. You got to give him the rock. And if you think he can't hold up for the whole season, you should have never gotten him, or get him and somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. Get him and then get somebody else, right? And stop saying, well, Keaton Mitchell's going to come back. Yeah, but he's not here now, and you don't know what Keaton Mitchell's going to do when he comes back.
No.
So, yeah, he better do something this weekend, though. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. All right, we can go ahead and move on. I think that we talked about this Ravens game enough. Nobody cares about the Ravens. We're all here for Carolina Panthers talk.
Let's switch to two-person. See, I'm not sure if my face is going to come back.
Hold up. Let me this. See if this is the correct one. Nope, it is not.
And yes, Ravenville, Josh Jacobs is another person that I would love to have had. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Josh Jacobs, or even Aaron Jones. It doesn't matter. Whatever. You got Derrick Henry, and it's just not great. Speaking of not great, we've got the Carolina Panthers. They are going to be playing the aforementioned Los Angeles Chargers. They get to deal with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. They also get to deal with Justin Herbert and Ladd McConkey. They get to deal with that O-line with their complete lack of edge rushers. I don't know, man. It's going to be bad. It was all bad last week. They came out. They had the worst possible start that you could have, giving up the long touchdown and then throwing an interception on their first play, getting blown out by the New Orleans Saints. Like, you can get blown out by a lot of teams. You're Carolina. You can't get blown out by the Saints. Not like that. 47-10 is an embarrassment. And then to find out the next day that the best player on the team and Derek Brown is out for the season, it feels like the season's over already. But obviously they still have to. They're kind of right back to that point of, the optimism is out the window that a lot of fans had coming into the season, myself included. That's out the window, and it's back to, we have to see if Bryce Young is the guy, and we have to see if Iquanu is the guy at left tackle, and that's just going to determine what we do with that number one overall pick that we're obviously going to get.
I'm not gonna say obvious yet, man. You can start out that first game and it just wet the bed. Obviously, you did that, right? It's not over. 65 people in here, by the way. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Okay, we are very close to 2,000 subscribers.
Very close.
I didn't even realize that we're that close. I think we're about 17 away or something like that. Y'all got 17 people in here. There's 17 people in here that can go and find somebody to hit that subscribe button. Okay, go do that. Obviously, things didn't go the way you wanted to. Like, everything went bad. Everything went bad for y'all. That's not going to happen every game. I believe in Dave Canales. Okay, he'll make the adjustments. They'll look better as the season goes on. We'll see. The Chargers didn't look great either.
No, the Chargers didn't look great, but they look like an NFL team. And Carolina hasn't looked like that for a while now. You say that everything went bad, and that's true, but it's not like it went bad from a place that was previously good. Like, it's just bad. They're playing significant snaps with guys who they picked up off of the waiver wire after final cuts. There was like 4 or 5 guys playing significant snaps who they just got in the building. One of them via trade with the Seahawks and Mike Jackson. The O-line played better than it played last year. They did, and it didn't matter. Bryce was not able to get the ball out consistently and find his receivers. He wasn't able to adjust to the blitz. I saw there was a couple plays they had a nickel blitzing and coming free, and Bryce evaded the sack initially and then ran into one of his old linemen. Like, it's just he looks a little lost right now.
Okay, yeah.
And they just they don't have the talent to make up for it at this point. If he is kind of rattled, Like there's nobody, like they can't turn and lean on the run game. It's Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders. You know, there's no security blanket in the wide receiving core. You know, you don't even have a tight end really. You got 4th round rookie Jatavian Sanders. You know, he's trying to find his own way. Deontay Johnson is out there, but you know, it's kind of hard to lean on the number one receiver like that, you know, when he's running routes downfield and everything. And, you know, Adam Thielen is continuing the decline. I mean, he's not completely, totally washed at this point, but, you know, he's not somebody that you're going to be, you know, targeting 10, 12, 13 times a game. So it really does look like, even though it's not the case, it looks like Bryce is out there by himself and he can't handle it. I don't know if they put him on the bench for a while and let Andy Dalton come in, if he can kind of reset. Yeah. But they're getting very close to, you know, a couple more performances like they had in week 1. You got to get him out.
Yeah. Hey, look who's here. Our guy Mikey.
Wow.
Open mic with OTR Mike. He says, fellas, love y'all. Miss y'all. Save me. Guess where Mikey's at right now? Oh, and we got a super chat here from our guy, Coach Evans from Sip to Tally Films. You have this comment?
He says, how worried are you about Bryce? And you know what I love about Coach? What I love about Coach is he knew that you got to donate to ask me that question. All right, you can't. He wasn't just gonna drop that in the chat. Look, again, I said this on the show yesterday. Bryce Young, you know, the physical part of the game is not where his strength lies, right? He's a small guy. He doesn't have the biggest arm, the strongest arm. He's athletic, but he's not overly athletic. His strength was in the mental part of the game and in decision making and processing and things like that. And it's not showing up consistently, right? Yeah. So level of concern 1 to 10 right now, after 1 year and 1 game is, and again, this is also, of course, influenced by C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson and how they're playing. Because especially Anthony Richardson, because he's a guy who had no experience coming in, almost.
Yeah.
Right. So level of concern for Bryce right now is at a 9.5. And like he has to turn things around immediately.
Yeah.
He has to play better than he's playing. Last year, it was all the excuses for Bryce. And I think rightfully so. You know, the O-line wasn't blocking anybody. The only guy you had out there, a receiver, was Adam Thielen. The defense wasn't very good. Okay, cool. Just, you know, flush the whole rookie year, whatever. They went out, they worked on the O-line, they brought in more receivers, and they did play better. And he looked exactly the same.
Yeah. Shout out to our guy, Mikey, man. Guess where Mikey's at?
Where's Mike at?
Where he's always at. He's at work. This is the hardest working man in America. He is always at work. I get this comment up there for a while, man. Look, open mic with OTR Mike is still a thing. All right. Ring Kings podcast is still a thing. Okay. We're gonna make a strong comeback. Okay. Just go over there and subscribe. His link is in the description. What's going on? Keep it real.
How you
What's
doing,
going
bro?
on? Thanks for coming through. Hey, long time no see. We're gonna catch up for sure. Okay. Subscribe to our guy keeping it real as well. All right. Yes, go subscribe to the whole crew. Link is in the description. Bryce Young, I'm with you right there, man. Like I put it in our Discord. Like, man, he might be bad.
Yeah,
he might be bad. I don't want to call him. I don't want to call him trash off of 1 game on the 17 game season. Mm-hmm. But when I saw he couldn't pick up an obvious blitz, right? He couldn't read that. Like they're sending the house. There's nobody you can check down to. There's nobody that you can hit. And the O-line the O-line wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. That's the thing about it. Like we could blame the O-line last year.
Mm-hmm.
Can't blame him this year. Not in that first game. They didn't play bad. He just looked overwhelmed. And like you said, his peers, they came in with him. They didn't look as lost as he's been looking. And we gave him a pass last year because it was just a poorly run team, right? We gave him a pass. But now it seems like there's everything in place. You just need to get together. So I want to see. I don't expect them to win this game, but I want to see if he can bounce back.
Yeah,
he can look competitive.
He needs to. But and there still is give him some time. It's a brand new coaching staff. It's a new offense and all that. And to be fair to Bryce again, like, he's on his third head coach.
Yes, that's crazy.
18 games into his career, he's had 3 different head coaches. So he does get. I said if he keeps playing like that for a few more games, then you got to bench him. But like we still have to give it to the end of the year to see how he looks. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't very concerned. I'd be saying, how do I feel about Deion's son? No, thank you.
We'll talk about that in the overtime show.
Yeah, and look, I think he's a talented kid. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the country, but I think he is talented. I wouldn't want him.
I'd be saying, bring him back up in the overtime show. We got a lot of things we're going to discuss in the overtime show. You want to be a part of this overtime show, okay? Patreon.com/LBHT Show. Okay, I'll say it again. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. If you have as little as $5 a month, okay, you can sign up. Also, there's a new feature on there. If you don't really want to do the monthly thing, you just want to pay for one episode. You see that there's a hot topic and you want to just pay for that episode. I think we have it at $5 for that episode. It's much cheaper if you just sign up for $5 a month. Okay. Yeah. You'll get 4 episodes every month. All right. So go ahead and make that investment. All right. We'll talk about that. We're going to be talking about some Shannon Sharpe and Ocho and Shannon Sharpe again today. And we got a lot to discuss, y'all. Okay. It's going to be a fun overtime show. All right. Ferris is back, B.
Yes. Ferris, let me know if you're ready to come back up. Okay. I just want to also remind Ferris that we can, in fact, hear him when he's backstage, so he could just say yes. Didn't, but I appreciate the thumbs up as well.
Works. Yeah,
appreciate the thumbs up as well. Welcome back, Ferris.
I don't think Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in the nation.
Who said he was?
You just said he wasn't. Didn't you say?
No, I said I don't think he's the best quarterback in the country.
Okay.
I said I don't think he's the best quarterback. I think he's talented, but I would not want him in Carolina.
He didn't get any of his father's athleticism. I know that for a fact.
Got all the attitude though.
Exactly, man. Homeboy runs in slow motion. Sorry.
I think he's a good quarterback. Like his attitude. Like, I mean, we'll see, man. I don't know, but I do think he's a good quarterback. I think I'm getting tired of him and his dad throwing the rest of the team under the bus.
Yeah. What's going on, Buck? 0-2 versus the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors in our online college dynasty. Jose gave him the beat him down for the conference championship this past weekend. But
Mountain West champs, baby.
Congrats on a great year, nonetheless, Buck.
Yeah, another perk of signing up to our Patreon and being part of our community. We do things like this. Okay, we got NCAA 25, okay, the football game, and we're doing an online dynasty, okay, with our community, and Bug's a part of it. Ferris is in the league.
I'm still trying to play my championship game, man.
Yeah,
people be losing remotes apparently.
So it's
apparently
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I just want to say
you don't put the remote near the game. I don't. Apparently, I don't.
I just put it down and it doesn't move. I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I do. I put it right next to the PS5. I'm just saying.
But I wasn't trying to put you on blast. You know that. I wasn't trying to put you on blast.
That was Brodny.
I'll say this. I told everybody when we first started up, I wanted to play as Hawaii, okay? Because me and B used to live in Hawaii. All right, we got ties to Hawaii. All right, I wanted to be Hawaii. I didn't want to be in a conference with anybody, okay? Because we all started out at the same level, okay? Novice, okay? I said I just want to play in the Mountain West. Y'all pick somebody else. Like, we can't pick like powerhouse schools. That's the other rule.
Yeah, right.
So I said don't join my conference. And what happened? Three people joined my conference.
And that's why I was trying to put Buck on blast, because the whole point was we were picking schools with 2.5 stars or 3 stars prestige.
That's what he picked.
So not great schools, right? And I know that's what he picked. But Buck jumped in and he picked Boise State because they have one of the best players in the country, and he was planning on abusing that, and that's why you got beat, Buck.
Yeah. Genty's a beast.
By the way,
Genty's a beast.
Why the hell is Boise State a 3-star school?
Because they're Boise State, fair.
No. They're at least a 4-star school, dog.
No, they're
at least
not.
4. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. At least it's Boise State.
Okay, you can't just.
It's not the same coach.
You can't just keep saying the name of the school. What have they done to be a 4-star?
I thought
there's only 5 stars, bro.
I thought it was no. I think there was 6.
No,
yeah, you're right. 5 stars. I honestly thought they've done like I thought it was prestige, right? It was all prestige based. Like there's a couple 4-star schools. I'm like, you ain't no 4-star school. Get out of here.
But Boise's done nothing to be a 4-star school.
I don't know.
But the point is, look, Genty's a beast.
Yes.
But
he almost single-handedly beat Oregon.
But Cam Barfield is a straight up monster. Okay, my running back. I know you guys don't care. My running back is going to win.
We always care about Hawaii.
Online dynasty.
We always care about Hawaii.
He's going to win the Heisman. We're about to be undefeated. Well, I gotta see who we play in our bowl game. We're not gonna make the playoffs because they're hating on us. Okay, but I just want 3 people joined the conference. 3 people felt the Hawaii power. Okay,
they were Brandon, Caleb, and Tony.
They wanted the smoke and they got the fire.
Yeah. Why you gotta put everybody on blast like that?
Because it's Tony and Caleb. That's why.
All right, moving on. Since you want to be like that, Giants versus Commanders, week 2. Paris, what you got? I know that week 1 went poorly for you. We were looking at Kayvon Thibodeau's highlights together, and then we got an error.
Pop up, bitch.
Yeah, there was nothing. I know that Daniel Jones looked very Bryce Youngish out there. How are you feeling about the Giants so far?
There's only one thing Daniel Jones knows how to do in the NFL. One thing. There's only one thing he knows how to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is beat the Washington Commanders. He's only lost to them once. He's beaten them. I think he's 6-1-1 against the Washington Commanders in his career. I believe.
Okay.
Wait, that makes no sense. Because that can't be true because he's been in the league for 5 years.
Well, he could have missed games.
That's true. He did. He has missed games, but he always beats the Commanders. Like it's like death, taxes, and the Commanders losing to Daniel Jones. Yes, he's 5-1-1 in 7 starts against Washington. He's 5-1-1. They've had multiple different quarterbacks. He's beaten them all. It happens. And if he can't beat the Commanders now, even with their rookie quarterback, who he played good against Tampa Bay, but but it wasn't like woo, Jaden Daniels. If he can't do that, if you can't do that thing anymore, it's done. It should have been done years ago, but you can't even be the thing. You can't even do the thing you're allegedly good at. Like the only thing you're good at is beating the Commanders.
Well, hold on. If he can't do that anymore, it's done. No, it's done.
It's done.
You said it wrong. You were just saying it's done. But I hope he can at least still do that. That's exactly what you meant to say.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing I have ever expected him to do in his 5-year career in the NFL. He only beats the Commanders. Really, he only beats the Commanders. He always disappears against Dallas. Always rips him apart. Like literally tears him limb from limb.
Yeah.
They appear to be 2-1 without him against Washington. So I don't even think it's Daniel Jones.
See? Okay, well, great stat actually. The New York Giants have the most victories against a single team in NFL history, that team being the Commanders. We've beaten the Commanders more than any other team has ever beaten a team in the NFL.
I think we have the Commanders like twice.
No, I'm talking about history-wise. History. Like we have like over
like they haven't been the Commanders.
The Washington football team, the team that plays in DC, allegedly, yes. even though they play in Maryland, but you know what I mean. Technically, it's the Maryland football team. To be real.
Ferris, man. Listen. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but like,
cut me off, please.
If you wanna talk about the Giants progressing and maybe beating Washington, you got to get off Daniel Jones, man. Give me something else.
No,
Give
I'm
me
with,
something besides
okay.
Daniel Jones as a reason that they're going to beat the new look Washington Commanders.
Their offensive line is not very good, and our defensive line needs to show up. I think they're going to have a better game.
Did you hear what you said?
Yeah.
You
What?
didn't say their line is bad and our line is good. You said their line is bad and our line was bad last week.
Yes. So this is going to be a get right game for them. It's a get right game for Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau always loves the Commanders because he always ends up getting like a sack or two. Apparently he can't show up against big teams, only the teams that are not very good. You need to get your stuff together, my guy. Yeah, I said it.
Let me ask you this, Ferris. How are you feeling about Dave? Is Daboll still the coach?
Yeah.
How you feeling about Brian Daboll? Because he started out hot.
Yeah, so I think I
saw Daboll. Oh no, I was going to ask about Wink, but you already got rid of him.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
By the way, Wink got shredded by the best quarterback in the nation last week when he was when Texas beat Michigan. I think Quinn Ewers.
I just remember telling you were excited about him. That don't get too excited. Curb your enthusiasm a little bit.
Well, actually, he was the only positive of the regime because the defense always showed up. You know what I mean? They definitely had their mistakes, like why are you not guarding Justin Jefferson? Why are you playing 10 yards off of him? Yeah, but we ended up beating them in the playoff game, so he kind of rectified that, which is fine.
A good defensive coordinator, but he's an easy scapegoat because of the way he plays defense.
Exactly, and also too,
but Daboll.
Yeah. So with Brian Daboll, his first year, he schemed up ways to hide Daniel Jones, right? Like, I can hide him. But guess what happens? Like the Wildcat formation in the NFL, when you give these professional coaches time to research your offense, they will stop you. So that's why it's a back and forth game. Unless you have a game changer like Patrick Mahomes, where it's like, yeah, you can watch Patrick as much as you want. Good luck. Lamar Jackson, you can watch as much tape as you want. Good luck. You know what I mean? But in this case, we watched a lot of tape on Daniel and the scheme of Brian Daboll, and we can stop him that way because there's no game changer playing QB. That change, that you can't stop. Like a lot of that's what's happening. They've stopped his offense because what he wants to do, what he did with Josh Allen, he can't do that with Daniel Jones because he doesn't think he's a game changer because he isn't. It happens.
Yeah.
So we better win this week. If we don't win this week, then you know what? Just I'm done. I'm done. I always write every year in the schedule. I know it's a guaranteed 2 wins every year. It's a guaranteed 2 wins. It's the Commanders. It's the Washington football team games. It was always a guaranteed 2 wins for the past couple of years. Yeah, I mean, if I could have guessed it. We could have went 2 for 14 or 2 for 13 now or 2 for 15 now, and they were the Commanders wins every year. But
All right.
I hate you, Tommy DeVito.
You're not going to beat Washington this week.
Yeah, we are.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
Jaden Daniels is going to run all over that defense.
He's going to run into the arms of Dexter Lawrence.
Dexter Lawrence, the fattest, slowest man on the field. I don't think.
Whoa! He's very fast for his big. 50% pass rush win rate. We talk about this is why.
How many foot races does he win?
He's a defensive tackle. What do we?
Exactly. So why are you talking to me about Dexter Lawrence when I'm talking to you about Jaden Daniels running?
Jaden Daniels has to get it passed around the wall. He has to shake and bake around the wall. He can't get past the wall.
He has to run around a defensive tackle.
Yeah, and he's gonna catch him. Watch yourself, man. You wish you had a Dexter Lawrence. Well, you allegedly thought you had one with Derek Brown. Now you don't have one.
Dexter Lawrence.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Dexter Lawrence ever tackle over 100 people in a season?
Derek Brown tackled over 100 people in a season?
He had over 100.
He did that. Who's all pro? Who's all pro? My guy or your guy? My guy. Both teams. NFLPA all pro and AP all pro.
I don't mean nothing.
It means everything.
He take Dexter Lawrence. You take Dexter Lawrence because you haven't watched any Derek Brown. Derek Brown is who you want to go with. Trust me on that one.
Now you trust me on this one. It's sexy Dexy all day. Hot 97.
Derek Brown's the one you want.
No, you don't. It's Dexter Lawrence. He also gets you sacks as well. Unlike Derek Brown.
Dexter Lawrence is nice. I'm not hating on Dexter Lawrence.
Second best defensive tackle in the game. Yeah, damn right he's nice.
Who'd y'all play last week?
We're against Minnesota.
It was-
He got a
Oh,
sack.
Rave King. Okay,
He got a
It
sack.
was
time out, y'all. Time out.
Minnesota, and
I need to address this. Rave Kingdom. Yeah. So he said, "Am I tripping or am I the only one I can't find Yolanda's channel?" We addressed this at the beginning of the show. Rave Kingdom. YouTube is hating on Yolanda's channel right now. They've pulled it. Okay. She's working on trying to get that back. So just Yolanda, keep your head up. All right. If she can't get it back, we're going to work with her setting up another channel if she wants to do it, and we're going to push to we're going to get that information out to you guys so you can go over there and subscribe to her new channel. But it's very important to support all of us on other platforms for this very reason, because YouTube does these things, man. They will demonetize your favorite YouTuber. They will pull the channels. They'll do all this weird stuff for no reason. Nothing. She did nothing wrong. She did absolutely nothing wrong. It wasn't like she had any kind of violations or anything like that. It was just totally random, and we know from experience that can happen. Okay, so she should be able to get that worked out. How long it takes, that's the issue, because YouTube will drag their feet when they mess up. So make sure, I don't have her her Twitter handle, but I'll find it and I'll put it in the description as well. Go over there and follow her. Right, follow all of us. I put the links to all of our descriptions on YouTube, but we tell you guys every week at LBHT Show is where you can find us on social media, and most importantly, LBHTShow.com. LBHTShow.com. And go over there and sign up for our newsletter. Once we start putting out that newsletter, we will keep you up to date every week on everything that's going on, where to follow everybody. Okay, because I can't speak for everybody, but I know if anything were to happen to me and B's channel, the show don't stop. We are somewhere. I promise you. If we're down on YouTube, right, we'll have it up on our website. We always have the audio podcast. We put that out every week. Okay, for you audio listeners. All right. We'll post it on Twitter. We're on Twitch. We're on Twitch right now. Not too many people use it, but we're on Twitch. We're on Facebook. We stream a bunch of different places for this very reason. So go over to all those places and support. If you're not on our Facebook page, go over to LBHT Show. Look for it. Like the page. If you're not, if you don't subscribe to us on Twitch, subscribe. If nothing else, as a backup. Okay. And when Yolanda gets back up and running, we're gonna get it set up with all those things, and it'll be the same thing. All right. Because yes, Yolanda, he said, what happened? Yolanda, her page, her YouTube channel got taken down. No fault of her own. It's just one of those things. Appreciate you, Rave Kingdom. He's trying to support everyone. Yes. No fault of her own. YouTube's just weird, right? Engraven had an issue last year with his channel being demonetized. He did nothing wrong, and that happened right after our channel got demonetized. Okay, and they said that we didn't have all the information submitted. We submitted the same information that we submitted to them the first time we monetized our channel. We didn't change anything. And they're like, oh, okay, everything's fine. Now we're not going to pay you. and it took us forever to get our money, right? So that's why we do things differently here, right? When you guys are looking for super chats, we don't activate the super chat button. We ask you guys to click the link in the chat box. It works the same way as a super chat. Right, you click on it, you leave your donation, leave a comment, you get the animation on the screen, and we read your comment. That's how we do super chat over here, because one, they're not going to take 30% of our money like YouTube does, and two, if for whatever reason they just decided to demonetize us one day, we could still make money doing that way. Right, they won't take away all of our features. We ask you guys to sign up to Patreon for that very reason as well. Okay, not YouTube membership. Okay, we don't want all our revenue being tied to YouTube. So just so you guys know what's going on. Kimberly, what's going on? Says, what's up, everybody? Long time no see. Yes, indeed. And football must be back because Kimberly Harmon is here. Thanks for coming through, Kimberly. Good to see you.
By the way, Dexter Lawrence, back-to-back years, second team All-Pro. And last year, first team All-Pro, players All-Pro. So, yeah, take your Derek Brown and get out of my face. Okay. I had 100 tackles in 1 year.
Derek Brown set the record for, doing his job.
His Ferris' jaw dropped when you said 100 tackles.
Didn't we talk about how sometimes those tackles are meaningless because he tackles somebody 10 yards down the field?
He doesn't tackle people 10 yards.
You know what? You know what? You know what? We don't have to argue this. Coach Evans has a video on Derek Brown on his other channel, more Sip to Tally films, breaking down his game. And go listen to what Coach says. Yeah, you should check that out.
Does he have a Dexter Lawrence video?
Go look.
All right, let's find out.
Oh no.
Link in the description, by the way. More Sip to Tally. Link in the description. All right. Okay. Do you want to do picks for us or you want to do Court of Public Opinion?
Hey, you calm down, Trib. Okay. 2 minutes ago you were picking Dexter Lawrence, and then he switched it and said, "I'll take Derek Brown," and now he's like, "Free Derek Brown."
I'm just saying. I'm telling you what the players said. The players said he was first team All Pro.
The players list.
Also, the writers said he was second team All Pro. They didn't say Derek Brown was second team All Pro.
The writers.
I'm just saying. The writers and the players.
You're going with the players who obviously have no clue what they're talking about. They
and
don't
the writers
care. They don't care about that list. And the writers who famously hold grudges.
All right, we got to do rapid fire. We're over an hour.
The player said, "I just want to hold on. The player said Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler.
No, the fans said Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler.
No, my friend. The players said Tyler Huntley was a Pro Bowler, and the coach.
Well, you know what? People get something wrong sometimes. It's all right.
Oh, okay, yeah, like that's
right. In this case,
moving on. We are headed to
the court. That's the only thing Brodny has to defend. That's his only shining light.
Ferris,
why is that our only shining lights are defensive tackles? Our only shining lights are defensive tackles.
No, don't try to move over to my side now after you attack.
No, I'm not moving over to your side. I still pick Dexter Lawrence over him.
No. I'm saying don't try to put us in the same boat.
We are in the same category. Our only shining light is defensive tackles.
Do you know how bad Ferris is going to cook Dexter Lawrence if they lose to the Commanders?
I'm gonna rip him apart.
That's why I'm laughing right now.
They already lost in Minnesota. They got Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau.
But
Sam Darnold had a career day.
But he believes that they'll beat the Commanders. No, he didn't think they were going to beat.
He believed they were going to beat Minnesota too with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold started that game 12 for 12.
Yeah. No, B. He thought they were going to win. He believes with all his heart that they will beat the Commanders.
He's only saying that because they lost to the Vikings. Anyway, moving on. We go into Court of Public.
Hey man, bring back Wing Martindale. Wing Martindale made Dexter Lawrence. He was amazing. Oh, sorry.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Hey! You didn't give me fair warning on that one.
Gotta pay the quarterback $40 million a year who threw 15 damn touchdowns.
I didn't agree with it.
Get out of here. Yes, you did.
All right, order. All rise.
Watch my show.
Court is now in session. Order, Ferris. All right, look. You guys by now, I'm assuming you've seen the Tyreek Hill video. All right. They've shown different versions of it. You have the full version. You have different angles or whatnot. So if you haven't, you don't know what's going on. If you're listening to this, right. Basically, he's on his way to the game. He was speeding, and you had 4 cops on a bike. Decided to pull him over. What was that old show? The Cops? Old police show, not Cops. I forget the guy with the cop on the bike with the
Chips.
Shades.
Chips.
Yeah.
Eric Estrada.
Yes. That's what they remind me of. They remind me of Chips. Thank you, D Weezy. Chips. Yes, Big Reg. And they were on a power trip, right? So one thing is, if you guys don't know, okay, so they pull him over and they ask him for his ID. He cracks down his window and hands the ID to them, right? Doesn't put the window all the way down. They don't like that. You don't have to put your window all the way down. Okay. He handed the information over to them. They saw who it was or whatever. And he rolled his window back up. They're asking him to roll his window back down. He's like, for what? You got my information or whatever. They're arguing. And then the cop tells him, get out the car. So he opens the door to get out the car, but he wasn't moving fast enough for them. So they pull him out the car and they want to jam him up. And, they were on a straight power trip. That's all it was. That they were on a power trip. His teammates were pulling over to see what's going on. They're trying to arrest the teammates. They put Calais Campbell in handcuffs. They're trying to arrest somebody else that got out the vehicle. And, it was a complete, just it was just complete S show. Okay, and Tyreek Hill went on to go play the game and had like a bazillion yards and a touchdown. But what do you guys think? Okay, what do you guys think? Do you guys think, hey, he should have just complied? He shouldn't have given the cops a hard time. All right. Do you think that, or were the cops clearly out of line on this?
Despite what the Trib is saying, the cops were clearly out of line. You don't even know how fast he was going. So what are you pulling him over for to begin with? Like, they didn't have a radar gun on him. He eyeballed it and said, "Oh, I'm super experienced. I know how fast he's going. I'm gonna pull him over." It's nonsense. Again,
these cops barely get police training. I don't judge your eyeball. You know what I'm saying?
So the police academy was like what?
Like 6 months.
4 weeks? 6 months?
I think it's 6 months.
I don't think it's 6 months. I think it's.
No, I don't think it's 6 months. I think it's shorter than that.
And then it got cut down. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not 6 months. I know that for so like you telling these men like,
or maybe I'm sorry, 6 weeks. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
my bad. Continue, Brodny.
Oh no! I was just saying, it's very similar to the Scotty Scheffler incident where cops just said, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna ruin this guy's day." And we're going to show him he's not above us, even though he's famous and rich and blah, blah, blah. We're going to show him that we're still in control. That's what they did to Scotty Scheffler. That's what they did to Tyreek Hill. I don't like being in a position where I'm defending Tyreek Hill. I think he's a bad person, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I just did a quick Google search. It says average around 633 hours or about 5 months, but it varies from state to state.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. This one says Daytime Academy. It varies. About 24 weeks long. This one says. I'm just doing a quick Google search. Mm-hmm. But yeah, about 5 months. So B's right. About 5 or 6 months.
Bam. Big on money. Yeah.
So, not enough time is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Not enough time, and
they make doctors go to school for what? 7 years?
7 years.
And cops have just as important jobs as doctors, and you getting 6 months of training? Nah, man, that's not right. Because doctors have people's lives. Because cops have people's lives in their hands, and doctors have people's lives in their hands. 6 months ain't enough. Never been enough. Never going to be enough.
Doctors have people's lives in their hands. Cops take people's lives in their hands.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Trip says, only thing on Tyreek, don't repeat, don't knock on my window like that, like 20 times. Outside of that, no issue with Tyreek. Calais was a W, and his other teammates was as well. It's his right to. It's I don't know, win, I guess. But Tyreek can say that. Like this is a thing that people got to understand, because like police officers will make you feel like like they're in total control and everything that they say is the law, and it's not. Most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, I want to say most of the time, but a lot of times in these situations, what they're telling you is an unlawful command. Okay, roll down your window more. Don't have to do that. That's an unlawful command. Okay, get out the car. You have to get out the car. They say get out the car. You do have to do that, but get out the car quickly. That's not a lawful command. He can take his time getting out the car. Just because you don't like how long it's taking doesn't mean you drag him out the car. All right. Just because he's being a jerk doesn't mean he's breaking the law. Tyreek Hill doesn't have to be nice to you. Okay. If he's complying with your commands, give me your license of registration. And he gave it to you. That's all he has to do. Mm-hmm. Now, it's always in your best interest not to talk to police. Period. Okay. For any at all, they ask you any question, you give them the information that you need. They ask you anything outside of that, I don't answer questions. That's how you handle that. All right. But look, man, it's you get guys like that. They're on a power trip, and it's not coincidence. Like they keep recruiting people like this. So, but Tyreek Hill, man, like.
No, exactly, Rave Kingdom.
But this is the entire point, Rave Kingdom. He says, listen, everyone, I totally understand y'all's thoughts on the actions of police, and it was out of line, but the way Tyreek acted in that situation can possibly get him killed. And the way he acted should not be able to get him killed. That should not be a common occurrence. And that is the entire point. That's why the police were wrong in the way they acted.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go ahead and put up the poll real quick. Go ahead.
He was kind of being like a little dickhead. That's fine. But that shouldn't get someone's life taken. You know what I mean? And I think, him being Tyreek Hill has got him out of a lot of stuff, because we know his history. And I think that's the only reason, like, if they were doing this to some dude named him like Tyreek Jackson or something like that, he would probably, acting he would probably have gotten himself killed. But the problem is it shouldn't. Yep. And even too, there's been instances where I have seen like Philando Castile, he complied with every single thing the cop said. Every single thing. He even said, "Oh, officer, I'm also a legal gun owner. My gun's in my glove box. I just want to give you that information as well." He even offered up information that he didn't have to offer. You know what I mean? And he followed every single step. And guess what? Guess where Philando Castile is right now? He's dead.
That video is very hard to watch because both of them were having a cordial conversation. He told him, "Hey, look, got the gun in my glove department." Cops like, "Don't reach for it." He's like, "Oh, I'm not reaching for it.
I'm just telling you."
I'm telling you. And the guy he just pulled out the gun and shot him, right? With his girlfriend and daughter in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Totally compliant and got shot anyway.
Yeah. Living Legend already voted, but if you if you think Tyreek was in the right or if he was wronged by the police, I guess we'll say #Cheetah. If you think that the police were right in the way they acted, #pigs. We're doing an animal thing here. But this is also true here. What Just Allo says, Tamir Rice and John Crawford didn't even have a chance to do what cops said. They were just killed. I mean, I don't know how many people remember the story of John Crawford. He was in a Walmart walking around talking on a cell phone, holding a BB gun that they sell in Walmart. Somebody called the police. They showed up, and said it was an active shooter situation. And I'm like, I saw the video. They go in, and it's a good 30 seconds from when they enter the store to when they find John Crawford in an aisle and shoot him in the back while he's talking on the phone. And I'm like, you don't look around and see that that people are just walking around shopping. How do you think it's an active shooter situation? Like, you don't have any common sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And and like as you watch the video, right? Like we said, Calais Campbell's like, "Hey, what y'all doing?" They cuff Calais Campbell and they place him on the curb. And then another one of his teammates, one of the cops tell him to get back in the car and leave, right? And then he follows that cop's instruction after he's saying like, I don't know what player that was. I don't recognize the player, but he follows that cop's instruction. But then the other cop says like, "No, you ain't dealing with him no more. You're dealing with me. Give me your license and give me your ID." And he starts yelling at him. And he's like, "Bro, I'm following his instructions." Like, "Nah, you ain't following that guy's instruction no more. You follow my instructions." Cause homeboy trying to act like he a man or something. Like, it was a complete power trip. Most of the cops in America are insecure human beings. They have all the power. It was Jonnu? Yes, okay, it was Jonnu Smith then. They have all the power in this case. Just be like, "Give me your license and registration. Here's the information." But give him the ticket and go, man. But you didn't want to just give him the ticket and go. You wanted to grab him out the car. You wanted to pin him because he knew it was Tyreek Hill. Yeah. He knew it was Tyreek Hill. And he was going to rough him up today to show him, "I know who you are. Remember, I'm still the man in this case. You're just a rando civilian that I can abuse."
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. And even if he didn't know it was Tyreek Hill, he knew it was somebody that has some money. He looked at the car and he's just like, "This guy thinks he's big time. I'm going to knock him down a peg." That's all. That's all it is. Danny says, "Everybody not cowering to a cop just because they have a badge. That doesn't give a cop a right to detain me because he doesn't like my tone." Correct. Now, if a cop gives you, like, he was giving them a lawful order that, "Hey, move your vehicle. You can't block traffic." That's true. Right. Now, it's one thing if Jonnu Smith had gotten out the car and his friend drove off and he's just standing on the sidewalk, the cop can't tell him to move as long as he's a safe distance away from the action. The cop can't tell him to move. It's a public sidewalk. He has a right to be there. That's an unlawful order. But if you're saying, "Hey, you can't park your vehicle here," you have to move. So it's about knowing your rights, man. People don't know their rights. You gotta know your rights, and you gotta understand your situation too, right? It's very important to pull out your camera and record, right? It's very important. You know, I know people roll their eyes like, oh, there you go, the camera phone. You gotta have it when you're interacting with police because you don't know how it's gonna go. Even when you think the situation is calm, it could turn left like that, right? So be careful out
Rave
there.
Kingdom. I know what you're talking about, Rave Kingdom. I know all my I even got to talk because my friends, their dads have sat them down talking about, like, this is how you respond to police because you're a black man in America. This is how you have to talk to them. Like, the problem is they shouldn't have to have that talk, but they have to have that talk. That's the issue, that the talk has to be had, that even your tone can get you shot. Because you see other races get away with it all the time. They don't get. I have seen with my eyes. I have seen a white woman cuss out a cop, call him every name underneath the sun. He gave her the ticket. She snatches the ticket, and then she then drives away. He does nothing. He just sat there and got yelled at by her. But my first thought was, I guarantee you, if that was a black woman, he would have dragged her out of the car by her head and pinned her to the ground.
Yeah. I'm raising 4 teenagers right now. Okay. My blood pressure's through the roof, by the way. But I tell them all the same thing, you know, as they're getting ready to drive and whatnot. Don't talk to the police
At all.
Don't talk to the police. If they pull you over, give them the information that you need. Nothing outside of that. They start asking you a bunch of random questions. Say, hey, you have my information. You know, if you need to give me a ticket, whatever, you know, that's fine. Anything outside of that, hey, you know, you have my information. You know, you be polite, but you don't give them anything. If you're walking somewhere and they stop you, start asking questions. Sorry, sir, I don't answer questions. Right? Ask for your ID, give your ID. Although you don't have to give your ID if they just randomly stop you. But, you know, just for the sake of, you know, not being harassed too much, hey, here's my information. Where you going? I'm sorry, I can't answer that. Right? They detain you. Don't say anything until I get there. They're not allowed to talk to minors until their parents are there. Okay? Once they become adults, don't talk to them until you get your lawyer there. Do not talk to police. Okay? And that's not a hey, you know, they're bad people, whatever. That's to protect yourself. All right. So
also,
all
too,
right.
Osmond keeps saying they have qualified immunity. No, they don't. It just seems that way because they always get away with it. Yeah. But they don't have immunity. If they kill someone unjustly, they should be sent to jail for murder. But they don't because they know how they can because they get away with it. They don't have immunity.
Sometimes they you know they go to jail, but it's very hard.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
Sometimes the cops are black. So we're going to go ahead and move on.
Exactly.
And we're going to move on to our week 2 picks. Give me 1 second, and we will get that going for y'all. Jose, you have the schedule up?
You know what? I did not. But just give me a second.
Can I point something out, guys?
Go ahead. Filibuster while I get this.
Aja Wilson broke the single season NBA and WNBA scoring record. She broke it. It was I believe it was a shade under. She has 941 and counting. She could be the first ever player ever to drop 1,000 points in a single WNBA season. She needs 71 points, and she has 7 games to do it, and I think she's going to get it.
Pretty sure she's going to get it.
She's definitely going to get it.
And, you know, barring injury and, you know, assuming she plays all the games, she's definitely going to get it.
Shout out to White Tea Asia. Boom.
White Tea Asia, that's her name?
No, that's her new nickname because she started going to games just with a white tee and some sweats, and she was like dropping 40.
I hope that doesn't catch on.
No, it didn't.
Thank God.
It didn't.
All right, good.
All right, we got the picks here. Good job. Good job, Ferris.
Because that's awful.
All right, this is going to be rapid fire.
She should have called up like Haynes, be like, hey, sponsorship. But, you know,
all right, week 2. I'm sorry, Ferris. We got to cover your face up for a second. Ferris is still with us.
Sorry,
guys.
Right? No one
we're going to change the graphic around, and we'll have a better setup. But all right, week 2, rapid fire. Let's go.
Buffalo at Miami on Thursday night. Both teams 1-0. I think I am going to go with the Miami Dolphins at home.
I'm going Buffalo.
Miami. You going Buffalo?
Yeah.
I ain't like the way they looked last week.
Yeah, you're right, but they always beat Miami somehow, and Miami's missing 2 of their running backs.
This is true.
but they ain't missing Tyreek, so I'm going Miami. Las Vegas at Baltimore, coming off a loss for actually for both of them. Baltimore didn't look so great. I think this is a tough matchup for them, but I'm taking Baltimore in a close one.
I'm going Baltimore as well. Oh, we
I
got to
agree.
do scores. I'm going to say it's going to be tough, but we'll end up winning like, I would say 27-17.
I was going to say 27-24 Baltimore.
Okay. 28-20.
Next up, the LA Chargers at the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to take the Chargers in this one. Carolina didn't look like an NFL team last week. Don't think they turned into an NFL team in the last 7 days.
What's the score?
Why you going to ask me that?
Because you got to get a score for our teams.
31-10.
31-10.
I'm going to say no.
What?
31-17.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, you did score 17 last week, so yeah.
We scored 10 last week.
Oh, okay, I gave you 7 points. I'm going Chargers. 34-17. I'm gonna go with that. All right. Can we keep track of our can we keep track of and be like who's better than?
If you want to go back to last week and go over our picks, we can start a little tracker thing going.
Okay.
All right. Living Legends picking the Panthers, B.
That's right, Living Legend. Appreciate you.
Zeke Okage picking the Panthers. Oh, look at this.
Appreciate you, Zeke.
Zeke, Danity says Panthers with the upset.
Thank you, Danity.
Hey, you guys are starting to change my mind here.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers. 28-10.
All right, next up we got New Orleans at Dallas. Don't believe the hype. Taking Dallas pretty easily in this one.
Yeah, Dallas, bro. Dallas.
Yeah, I got Dallas. And is that Dallas too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay at Detroit. Don't believe the hype. Taking Detroit in this one at home.
I think they're that hyped. They gotta win against the Commanders. I think it was
Detroit.
Pretty
Detroit
hype for them. Yeah. Next up, Indianapolis at Green Bay. Reminder: Malik Willis is going to be starting this one for the injured Jordan Love.
Indy.
I'm going to be taking Indy on the road.
Going Indy as well. I think Anthony Richardson is, he just needs games, man. And I think he has things that can't be taught, like that touchdown pass to Alec Pierce. Sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah.
It was like, that's crazy.
Okay, Jose.
Yeah, Indy. I said Indy.
Okay. Next up, Cleveland at Jacksonville. Don't trust the Jaguars. Even though Cleveland laid an egg in week 1, I think they bounce back and get the win on the road.
I got Jacksonville.
I got Jacksonville as well. Deshaun Watson's a sack of.
Yeah. All right. San Francisco at Minnesota. Christian McCaffrey's out for this one as well. Didn't matter in week 1 as his backup went for, I think, 130. Yep. I think that San Francisco takes this one going away.
I agree. Same here.
San Francisco.
Seattle at New England. New England with the upset win over the Bengals. Seattle, I believe they got their win week 1 as well. Yes. I hate to say it, but I'm going to take New England in the upset at home.
Wow. I think you might be right. I think I'm going to go New England. They're going to start 2-0.
Yeah, no, I think so too, because that defense played very well. I know Cincinnati was missing T. Higgins, but shout out to Keon White, the kid out of Georgia Tech, finally coming to his own. Let's go with New England, yeah.
The New York Jets at the Tennessee Titans. A couple of never were's and never will be's. I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans, and the Jets fall to 0-2.
Wow.
You know what? Can I take that back? I'm going Seattle. I just realized something.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, Charles Cross plays for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So
just.
Yeah, I'm going with Seattle then.
All right. I'm going Jets.
All right. Next up, the New York Football Giants at the Washington Commanders. We talked about this earlier. I'm taking Washington in this one. In a close one though. Washington in a close one. I'm going to say 20-14.
Yeah, cover your ears, Ferris. I'm going Washington as well. Close. I think it's going to be close. But yeah.
Going Giants 21-14.
Okay. All right.
Next up, the LA Rams at the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals are frauds, taking the Rams.
I'm going Rams.
Going with the Rams because Kyler Murray apparently says he doesn't like doing his job. Why would he throw it to Marvin Harrison? It's not his job to get Marvin Harrison targets.
Marvin Harrison
is that what he said?
Couldn't get open.
That's literally what he said.
Yeah, but Marvin couldn't get open. Marvin ran 16 miles an hour as his top speed this past week. He was not ready to get the ball.
So you're telling me you're saying that Marvin
there was
Harrison,
one play he was wide open and he didn't get the ball.
Wait, time out. So you're telling me Marvin Harrison is gonna be a bust?
Nobody said that. That he wasn't ready to get the ball last week.
Was he hurt?
It wasn't one play. It was a big play.
Anyway, moving on. What is the Cardinals? Pittsburgh at Denver. The Pittsburgh Steelers won week 1 without getting into the end zone. Denver struggled mightily last week, despite a little late flurry attempt to come back. But I'm going to take Denver in this one. I think Bo Nix bounces back from a poor showing in the opening. And I think that Pittsburgh continues to struggle with Justin Fields at quarterback.
I'm going Pittsburgh because I believe Mike Tomlin's record against rookie quarterbacks is like 25-2. So I'm going with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh as well.
Pittsburgh showed they didn't have to score a touchdown to win games.
Yeah.
Just get into field goal range and you're good.
It's going to be another ugly game, though.
Yeah. They're going to win you know what? They're going to win like 18. No, you know what? Like they're going to win 22 and give them 7 field goals. No, 21. Sorry. 21-14.
All right, next up,
goals,
Cincinnati at the Kansas City Chiefs. Cincinnati looked pretty lackluster. Even if they didn't, Kansas City's just better than them, taking the Chiefs at home.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs as well.
Chicago at Houston. I think we see a bounce-back game from Caleb Williams. I think he plays very well in this one. I think he gets DJ Moore involved quite a bit, although it looks like he might be without Rome Odunze and Keenan Allen. But it's not going to be enough, and I think Houston gets the win at home over Chicago.
Houston.
Houston.
And the last game, Monday night, Atlanta at Philly in the Who Scheduled This Bowl. I'm going to be taking Philly at home big.
Yeah, same here. Atlanta looks terrible.
Philly, because Atlanta's starting Kirk Cousins on primetime.
There you go.
There it is, right there.
And that is it.
That's it. Okay, I can take this down. Boom. There we go.
My eyes.
All right. Do we have any questions?
Nope.
All right. No submitted questions this week, so that is the show. You guys want to hear us discuss some Shannon Sharp, his beef with Chad Johnson, also a little mishap on IG today. We'll discuss that. All right. We have a few things that we want to discuss in the overtime show. So you might want to go over there and sign up for our Patreon. Patreon.com/LBHT Show is how you do it. If you have as little as $5, it's just $5. Okay. It's just $5. Come hang out with us. Everybody that's a Patreon member thoroughly enjoys their membership. Okay. You get access to the overtime show. You get access to our Discord. And once you're in the Discord, you know, whether you stay a member or not, you stay in the Discord. We don't kick anybody out unless you do something stupid. All right. But we're building a strong community over there. We want you to be a part of it. All right. So also, once again, LBHTShow.com. Go over there. Sign up for the newsletter. All right. We still got like 50 some odd people in here. Go over to LBHTShow.com. Sign up. Okay. That's very important to us. Okay. We don't spam you guys. We're going to send out a newsletter once a week, maybe, or it might be bi-weekly. We haven't decided yet, but that's going to give you all the important information for us and everybody that's in our crew. Okay. Because we are a tight crew. Okay. If you guys been watching this for a while, you know, I mean, Ferris been on the show for I don't know how many consecutive weeks. Right? He's just our guy, but Ferris got his own channel. Coach Evans, you know, we do the Ravens Roundup with Coach Evans. Mikey, that's our guy. Like we're all close. Okay. So, you know, we do the, you know, Hendo from the Road Pod. You know, we do a lot of things together, and me and Bia Hendo are going to be collabing on some things coming up here in the future as well. So all that stuff will be in the newsletter, where to find those things, and I think you're going to like it. So LBHTShow.com is how you do it. And yes, subscribe. We are close to 2,000 subscribers. I don't know where it's at right now, but I know it's less than 20. We're like less than 20 away. So subscribe to the channel. Get us to 2,000 subscribers. All right. Okay, Ferris, one more time, let the people know where they can find you, and we are going over to the Overtime Show.
You can find me on the Let's Get Ready Networks, Let's Get Ready Entertainment, movies, reviews, recap shows, you name it, we do it. On the Let's Get Ready Network, the highlights every Friday at 3 o'clock Pacific. Good friends, better rivals. Me and Caleb talk NFC East, and I'm going to be happy next week because we're going to beat the Commanders.
All right, there you have it. And get you some merch, man. It's getting cold out there. You need a beanie, man. Look what B's wearing. All right. That's on our store too. LBHTShow.com/shop.
That's your face, Brodny.
Okay. You like this shirt? That's on there as well. You know, they got some winter gear out there. They got some long sleeves and whatnot. Go check it out. All right. All right, B, are you ready?
Ready.
He is ready. Thank you all very much. Yolanda, keep your head up. All right. We're going to get you back up and running in no time. All right. Everybody else stay safe. Have a great night, and we will see you next time.
Dexter Lawrence, All-Pro, back-to-back years. You know what it is.